Kia ora. Tonight in this edition of City News, the Rotorua Access Group celebrates 10 years of advocating on behalf of the disabled. The Rotorua Armed Offenders Squad was called out yesterday evening after a man presented a firearm at police. And a big holiday weekend for whitewater rafters as they compete at the New Zealand Championships. The Rotorua Access Group celebrated 10 years of advocating on behalf of the disabled and people with mobility issues at a function at Council yesterday. Peter O'Flaherty, who's part of the Access Group, says over the years with the help of Council they have managed to fix a number of problems for the disabled in the city.
Before this committee was formed, you had to make virtually one-off requests, and as an individual it was pretty hard working through the bureaucracy as to where you went, who you should contact. But with Peter and the Council now on board, it's been great.
And RDC Building Officer Peter Anderson says being on the inside of Council and on the Access Group has been an advantage when addressing issues. He says the need to make places accessible for the disabled will be a growing need in the future.
As Rotorua progresses, there's going to be more disability issues always going to come to the fore. We have an ageing population, and access and usability of our public and tourist areas are of great importance to the city. They're good for our economy as well. All I hope that over the next 10 years that we do see more awareness regarding disability issues, and I'm sure we will be around in 10 years' time.
And the Rotorua Armed Offenders Squad was called out yesterday evening after a man presented a firearm at police officers who retreated to safety and called for the squad. The officers had been attending a domestic dispute in an east side suburb at the time the man pulled the gun. The Armed Offenders Squad resolved the incident peacefully and no one was injured. Details about whether anyone's been arrested are unavailable at this stage. And a 5.5 magnitude earthquake struck Rotorua, Taupo in the Bay of Plenty just after lunch yesterday. GNS recorded that the quake was situated 10 kilometres northeast of Taupo at a depth of 105 kilometres. There were no reports of damage from the quake. And in sport tonight, the MIGS Gymnastic Club is celebrating recent success at the national competitions. Members of the MIGS team took gym and trampoline medals. Trampoline coach and Commonwealth gold medalist Lynette Farkash started her gymnastic career at MIGS. She says the club took their biggest team ever to the nationals.
4 years ago, after Indo-Pacifics was in Rotorua, we were asked if we would like to start trampolining in Rotorua, so I said, OK, I'll take the challenge. And since then I've had children go to every nationals, and this year was our biggest achievement. Yeah, exactly, achievement. And also for the artistic, the best achievement ever for MIGS. Representing Waikato.
We did really well, I think. Yeah.
Really well, yeah.
Fellow coach Dong Shang, an Olympic bronze medalist, says she's not surprised at the good showing at the Nationals as she sees a lot of talent at the club.
Like I came from China, and the kids, I thought here, the kids not like a New Zealand people, not much as Chinese population like people, but here got lots of Thailand kids, I can tell, like from here. Yeah, a lot of kids, they doing well and working hard. Yeah, they train good, and like just our manager said, and the gymnastics and like tramp were all the basic things for every sport. When they like quit gym or like old enough, they can transfer to any sport, and they're still doing really well.
And it's going to be a big holiday weekend for local whitewater rafters as they compete at the New Zealand Championships on the Kaituna, Tarawera and Rangataiki. There's also a lot at stake as the event doubles as selection for the 2013 IRF Whitewater World Championships on the same rivers in November next year. The event also has the input of local world champion extreme kayaker Sam Sutton as consultant on the courses. Mr Sutton told City News that the event is a great test run for next year's event. Local and international paddlers will take part, including teams from the Czech Republic, Australia and Japan. Kick-offs tomorrow with short sharp sprint and the head-to-head races on the Kaituna. And on Saturday the slalom is at Kawarau on the Tarawera, and the finale will be the downriver race on the Rangataiki on Sunday. The downriver is for double points and usually determines the titles. About 50 crews are expected to travel to New Zealand next year, 30 men's and 20 women's teams, and they'll come from all over the world, including the traditional powerhouses of Central Europe, Japan and South America. Now, for more detailed event and venue information on this, see 2013 Rafting Worlds NZ. Well, that's one word, 2013 raftingworldsnz.com. To the weather now, Rotorua, brought to you by Trevor Robson Signs and Graphics Limited. Tonight, more showers, unfortunately. Westerly gales, an overnight low of 7. Forward to tomorrow, Friday, fine apart from morning clouds, southwesterlies easing, high of 14 and a low of 2. And looking at the start of the long weekend, the outlook for Saturday is fine, so that's good news. Apart from evening cloud, northwesterlies, a high of 14 and a low of 7. And to the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, tending southwesterly 30 knots early morning, gradually easing to 15 knots in the evening. Waves about a metre, easing to half a metre in the evening. Fine weather though, apart from morning cloud with the odd shower. And don't forget, for program listings and other info, check out our website. That's tvrotorua.co.nz. And still to come in tonight's program, William Yip has news of events and exhibitions coming up at the museum. Martin Crofts from Events and Venues has the latest on the Glow Festival and the Rotorua Bike Festival. And I talked to Rob Griffith from the Department of Conservation.